Center screen, brother. I'm off on the side.
Oh boy, a lot of pressure being in the center.
You want to see some pressure? You gotta open this one because I'm tired of opening them. Tired of it.
Welcome, everybody, back, or if you are new, this is the Dream Crushers podcast, and we talk about random things in life. We're trying to become more successful, better ourselves every day, and so we're just kind of sharing that with you guys on our experience, and hopefully you can relate to some of the stuff, and maybe it'll help. And maybe you'll laugh a little bit at some of the funny things, or maybe just because we're stupid.
Yeah, probably that.
That is
definitely that.
Today, we are going to talk about the law of attraction. We're not talking about relationships. We are talking about the law of attraction as in, some people seem to think that if you simply believe that you want something bad enough, the universe will provide it with you. If you say, I want $1 million, you'll get $1 million somehow. And that's kind of a rough thing of what I've heard people talk about it. Also, Oprah Winfrey put out a book called The Secret.
It wasn't actually her writing, though, was it?
It wasn't? I don't know.
I don't think so. I think it was somebody else, and she
Don't quote me on anything.
I also haven't read it, though, so...
Yeah, well, I've heard that it was basically about the secret to becoming rich, successful, famous, whatever, is to just want it, and it will happen.
So I guess tell me your thoughts on, well, the whole system, I guess. Because, you know, I agree with it, but some of the stuff you're saying sounds a little off, so I kind of just want to know what you think the whole thing means.
I think that there are some very good points to it, but I feel like if it's worded how I just said it, I think it's very easy for lazy people to take it and want $1 million and then just sit on their couch and do nothing. That's the problem that I have with it, and we'll kind of dive more into that. But I think that believing in yourself is 100% necessary. If you don't think that you can do it, then you're right, you won't ever do it. But on the other extreme of it, you can't just want it and not do anything about it. That's kind of my whole thing on it.
Well, I was so excited to argue with you, because I think that it's true and it's absolute fact, but it almost sounds like we're on the same page after all, which I don't know why I'm upset about not getting a fight.
It's terrible.
But, basically, yeah, I think that it is absolute fact that if you focus on something, that you can manifest it. And manifesting is kind of a magical word, and that's something I'm constantly trying to get around, is the magical part of it, because a lot of stuff is too fancy or too mythical to believe, and that sucks. I think that scares a lot of people away when there's actual deeper meaning and truth behind certain things. So, like Kyle said, if you just want something bad enough, that's something I get a lot when I tell people, you know, you can get anything you set your mind to. Immediately it seems like they get defensive and they're like, oh yeah? No, didn't work. That's not what it means.
Yeah.
But unfortunately, I think the way people write, again, I haven't read this book, but I have read a lot about the law of attraction, and it seems the way people deliver it all the time is exactly that. Yeah. If you're sitting on your couch watching TV and you believe you're a millionaire, you'll become a millionaire. And if you want a brand new car, all you got to do is believe and imagine yourself driving that car, and you're going to get... No, it's not how that works. It's not how that works.
It's a part of the process. It isn't the process.
No. But I think there is some truth behind it, and I'd be happy to explain. I feel like it's a long explanation of why it's so very true, though. But all in all, you have to keep in mind that, like you said, sitting down doing nothing isn't going to get you anywhere. But the mindset is the biggest part of it. It is the entire part of it. Without the proper mindset, it's not going to work. And basically, it's there's a part of your brain up at the top of the brain stem that I think it's recently discovered, called the reticular activating system. And
Big words.
right? And basically what it is it's, some people call it a filter or a bouncer, and later on I'll try to relate it more to like a Google search. But basically we have so many stimuli from any point in time in our life, just walking down the street, especially in the city. You've got the sounds of cars and airplanes and the temperature and the wind blowing through your beard. And there's so much stimuli that you don't realize how much, hundreds, thousands, maybe even millions of stimuli at any moment. And your brain can only process so much. However, your subconscious can make sense of a lot of it.
Yeah, it's gotta filter through
insane
it all.
amount. So basically the reticular activating system takes the things from your conscious, the things that are happening right now, and I think it's kind of a safety mechanism. Like if you see an alligator, then your reticular activating system says, hey, you know what, there's an alligator. It activates your hearing, makes it more sensitive. You hear the grass rustling, maybe the water moving around behind you, and all this stuff you pick up.
So your senses are heightened.
Basically, they're heightened to what matters to you now. And it's essentially the reason that you can feel the clothes on your skin right now. But you couldn't before I said that. And that you can feel your eyelids every time you blink. But you couldn't before I said that. Because there's so many sensations that your mind is shutting off, and your reticular activating system is not delivering these messages to you. Because if all this information was coming in at one time, you go crazy. And that's basically what schizophrenia is their reticular activating system. And this is not a fact. This is my belief just from my reading. Basically there's this thing called low latent inhibition, or latent inhibition rather, which takes all these stimuli. It's the exact same thing. It's like once you see it, you see a chair, and the next time you see it, it's just a chair. But the first time it's like, oh, it's redwood, it's got a nice pattern on the thing, you know, the carving is nice. And then the next time you see that chair, it's just that chair. But people with low latent inhibition and schizophrenia, both, they see the chair as a new chair every time. And so all these hundreds and thousands of stimuli are coming in too fast. And low latent inhibition is actually people with higher IQ, and they can process all this information. And people that don't have the IQ to handle all that information are schizophrenic, because they have all this stuff going on and they can't process it, and essentially makes you crazy. So that was a huge tangent. Basically what I'm getting at is that you can control your reticular activating system, not like you can control your finger, but you can affect how it operates, and that is by purposely focusing on certain things. And you've done it before, whether you know it or not. It's like when we talk about Elon Musk, and I know it happened to me when I first talked about him, and it wasn't all that long ago. And then all of a sudden I started seeing Tesla cars everywhere.
Yeah.
Everywhere's a Tesla, and our buddy at work owns a silver Honda Accord. Somebody made a comment about him working on his own car at work, and now I see his car everywhere. And it's only the dark gray ones.
Yeah.
Everywhere.
Yeah, that always happens anytime you're talking about like a certain car or whatever. You see
Right.
all of them.
And basically what's happening, it's always cars for me. I mean, your sister buys a Mini Cooper or something.
Yeah, and then you see
All
a
of
million.
it. These cars were already on the road all the time. They didn't just magically appear. It's your reticular activating system was turned on to that thing. Hey, this is important to this person right now. And it starts searching for it, and things start to pop out. It's why your name, when you're in the food court in the mall, there's nothing but loud yelling and stuff like that. You can't hear the conversations. If you could, you'd go insane.
Yeah.
But if somebody says, Kyle, immediately
like break out of it.
you pick it up and it's, hey. So basically that's what it is. Also numbers, what I was telling you about a little bit ago was 222 was my big number. And I didn't know why. I thought it was something super mythical and amazing that, I don't know, maybe it was bad. Maybe I was going to die on February 22nd. Maybe whatever. But I mean, it's everywhere. I mean, it happens with numbers too. I see 222 and phone numbers on billboards. I see it on taxi cab identity plate numbers and stuff like that. And it's just 222 pops out everywhere. And then recently, it was interesting, I saw 941, which we have a radio station here, 94.1, and I just noticed, and I saw it twice in one day, and I was like, oh wow, 2 times in one day, both AM and PM, I saw 941. And as soon as I thought that, it's like, now that's the number. Now it's not 222, now 941 is everywhere. So again, all these numbers are everywhere, but your brain is seeing them the whole time, but your reticular activating system is not bringing it to your conscious mind.
Yeah.
And so it's processing. So basically why I think that the law of attraction is so important and so real is that.
So that's like a little bit of like the science behind it. So how do you think that people can use that in their favor to become more successful or get more towards what they want?
Basically, that's what affirmations are to me. They're always hokey to me. And then before I learned this, it was always just hokey. You know, sitting somewhere and believing, you know, I am a millionaire. Money comes to me easily. Wherever I look, there's money. Money, whatever. And it's important for me to know that it's real, because if you can actually succeed at getting this in your subconscious mind, which is kind of hard, even if you think about it, it's not in your subconscious mind, but make it super important to yourself. You know, you got to believe it, because if you don't believe it, if you just say it, nothing's going to happen in here. Yeah. But you're trying to fire up that reticular activating system, and it has worked for me. I swear to God, it is not that weird. I tell my wife all the time, if you find money, pick it up. Doesn't matter how much it is. Make an affirmation. Doesn't matter if you're religious or not, whatever. It's like you find a penny on the ground, tails up, whatever, pick it up. You're like, thank you, God. Thank you for bringing me this money. Money comes to me easily. And it was like 2 days after I started this, and I was just saying that all the time. You gotta say it all the time. You gotta believe it. And some of it's coincidence, but like I found a $1 bill by my car after work. It was just in the gutter. And it was like, it just made me laugh, and I kind of teared up a little bit. It was like, because I just started it. I was like, that's weird. And it was kind of off over here, so I don't know if I would have seen it, or if maybe that was a reticular activating.
Yeah.
We've got so much trash around our shop, like constantly, which is a discussion for another topic. But I mean, you that's the kind of stuff that you shut out. Like right here, I mean, there's so much stuff going on around here that we kind of shut it off.
Yeah.
And getting it in your subconscious, getting your reticular activating system to fire up to certain things, makes it so that it doesn't create them. It does not manifest them. That's why I don't like that word anymore, because that's where the magic comes in, and everybody kind of, all I got to do is believe it, and it comes. No, you got to make yourself believe it, and all you're doing is finding opportunities that were already there. And I'm talking a lot. You just started photography.
Yes.
I've been doing photography forever, since I was like 12 years old. And I think this is a good example. I was thinking about this the other day, that I haven't had any work in photography in well over a year. You just started, and you're super passionate about it, and you're getting all these opportunities everywhere to make money. Guns, family portraits, all this stuff. And I think that those opportunities are probably there for me, but I'm kind of burnt out on it, and I think my subconscious knows that. And these opportunities are probably all around me too, but I'm just not seeing them.
Yeah,
so you're getting all these opportunities. You're not manifesting them, but since it's so prevalent in your mind right now,
I'm making myself available to the option of doing it, but I'm also going out. I'm talking to people, you know, word of mouth. I'm posting pictures. I try and post pictures as much as I can to get people fired up about it.
So that's where the action comes in.
Yeah. You gotta push forward. You gotta do it. I've seen Aaron's pictures. Aaron's taking pictures of me. I've gone with him to take pictures. He takes amazing pictures. But if he doesn't go out and try to find work, it's not just gonna fall out of the sky. All of a sudden he turns around and somebody's like, hey, you know, I want to go out and take some cool pictures. Like I constantly right now, like he said, I'm just so pumped on it and so like obsessed with it that it's almost like the work just kind of comes out of nowhere.
It manifests.
It manifests. It almost like gets in my way, because I'm like, I have all these different plans of things I want to do, and then somebody's like, oh, like, can you do this? And it's something different. And I'm like, yeah, for sure. You know, let's do it. I don't care what it is. Like, I'll do it. If I'm not that good at it or whatever, I'll get better at it. I'll do my research. I'll apply myself. and it's been a lot of fun. I've been having fun with it, and it really has opened my eyes to applying yourself and showing people how much passion you have for something. Really, passion is a huge thing, I think, with the whole law of attraction thing and making it work. You must be passionate about what you're doing. When other people see that you're passionate, it's easy for them to get excited about it, even if it's something that they're not into.
Right.
I don't know if we already talked about it on the podcast in past episodes, but there was a book that came out, Blue Like Jazz. Did we? I think we might have talked about that.
Yes, you did mention that.
Yeah, we mentioned.
I don't know if you mentioned it on camera, so I feel like you should do it anyway.
Yeah, I feel like we might have. Either way, there was a book. I didn't read it, but I heard a lot about it. I don't like to read that many books, but there was this book. It was called Blue Like Jazz, and the whole premise that I was told was that it was about this guy who stumbles upon this guy playing jazz. And this guy is just playing it with so much passion that this guy that didn't have any interest in playing an instrument or jazz at all found himself completely consumed by it. And he realized that just if you have this outward passion and you don't care what people think and you don't care what other people's thoughts are on it, and you are just so passionate about it and you're consumed by it, that it's contagious, and other people can maybe not so much want to do it themselves, but they have a different perspective on it, and they look at it from a different way, and they're like, wow, I could see how that's incredible. I could see how that's getting into his head and making him excited or happy about that thing. And yeah, it's very interesting.
Is that a bee? I'm swatting at it. I don't want to. That is a bee.
Yeah, it's a bee.
I should not be swatting at it. I've never been stung. I might be allergic to it.
He won't eat much.
And we're way out in BFE, and I'm going to. Oh God!
This is the part where you guys laugh at us. There's a bee. That's all right.
I could die.
You could.
I could die. I've never been stung. Some of my family members are allergic to bees. I could die in the middle of
mouth.
So, that's a really good point of attraction, and that is, I think, a big part of it is. So you do have to be passionate about it.
Continue.
Please don't make them mad. You have to be passionate about it. That's one way you trigger the stuff in your brain that needs to be triggered in order to make you see it. But also, like he said, people are drawn to people who are passionate about something else. I think we're going to have to cut. We'll be right back.
Bobbing and weaving. So we're just kind of coming back on to wrap up this last part because it was rudely interrupted by an insect.
But first I would like to take credit for that bee because I've got really bad allergies, and I was thinking earlier that I should find some localized honey to try to help with my allergies, and bam, bee, see? So the things that you manifest may not be, I'm actually bullshitting you right now, but real thought though is that things will come to you and they won't be exactly what you want, even though your senses are opened up to them. It still may be an opportunity. Maybe you wanted to shoot guns and you get a portraiture option, you know what I mean?
Yeah, for photography. Talk about taking pictures of guns, not like shooting guns.
So, what are your thoughts? Did I convince you that you can manifest whatever you want?
Well, I kind of already thought the same. It was more like, yeah. I mean, I agree with how the law of attraction works is a little more scientific than magic, and I think that was your whole point, and I agree with that. I think that it's a good point to make. You should definitely believe in yourself, and you definitely have to want things. If you don't want it, obviously you're not going to go try and do something you don't want.
And it can definitely work backwards.
Yeah.
This is why you shouldn't be putting yourself down, and I think we talked a little bit, off camera about, being fat and not talking down on yourself. I mean, you don't want to do that, but at the same time, you got to be honest with yourself.
Yeah, you got to be real.
You may not really go to this, but again, just with that, dieting, you can't just believe that you're thin and you're going to be thin, but it might open up your mind to different opportunities, different gyms, whatever, somebody trying to become a trainer and they want to do it for free. Bam, I don't know, just different opportunities that your mind will be open to. And Nothing's easy. Nothing's ever easy. But
Nothing worth doing is ever easy, that's for sure.
But I think you can. I think you can bring it forth. I really do.
Exactly. Just like Thomas the Train. I think I can. I think I can. That's what you just sounded like.
He still had to work for it, though.
Yeah, he did.
Yeah, he didn't just imagine being at the top of the hill and then, bam, at the top of the hill. He did not manifest that.
He
But
believed in himself. And
that's where it all starts. I feel like that's
Believe and
another
achieve. I feel like I've heard that somewhere. Believe and achieve. That's not my thing. I don't think I made that up. I think somebody said that. It's usually where everything that we talk about usually comes from other things. We just collectively funnel it into a video for you guys so you can enjoy. We're standing on the shoulders of giants.
So it sounds like a good topic for another one sometime. Believe and achieve. Or would we just be being redundant then?
Kind of redundant, maybe. I don't know.
Well,
We're going to do some free talks too here. These have all been like pretty topic based.
semi-rehearsed.
Yeah, I mean, not really. We talk about it for a couple minutes before we go on camera, but we don't really rehearse it. But yeah, we're gonna add in some other ones where we just kind of sit and talk, have conversations about stuff. Sometimes it's easier to let thoughts kind of flow, kind of as Aaron here went on a little tangent about stuff.
Stuff? Is that all you got out of it? Great.
Some stuff.
I'm not much of a speaker. Apparently I need some work.
That's all right. But yeah, we're gonna wrap this one up. But we're gonna be putting these out weekly. We have a couple more topics we're gonna talk about. We're gonna throw in some shorter ones, some longer ones. We're gonna do some, like I said, just kind of free talks where we just kind of sit, hang out, have a conversation, and maybe some of the stuff that we talk about you guys will be interested in. And yeah, hopefully you guys will tune in and you guys can check out the video on YouTube. It's up on Anchor, on Apple Music, Google Play, all those places. The Dream Crushers podcast.
I'm pretty sure they're going to listen because right now I'm like super pumped about it. Like it's going to happen. So I manifested you. That's how crazy this is that you had no control over yourself. All I had to do was think about you watching this. Bam. There it is. So go manifest something. I got to stop using that.
Yeah.
Just go make it happen. Do some work. Get it done. Make believe that you can get it done.
Sorry if we repeat words a lot. We're new at talking.
New at talking? I've never talked before. All right.
If what was that thing called that you were talking about, the brainstem thing?
The reticular activating system.
Yeah, if I heard reticular activating system one more time, I was going to kick you in the face. But it definitely brought the point home, and I do like the science.
Good. That's all that mattered. They call it the RAS.
Ooh,
Should
Raz.
have done that.
Yeah, Raz.
It's a lot easier to say.
Razzle dazzle. It was kind of like the medulla oblongata. That's science too. I saw that in Waterboy. That's because them alligators got all them teeth and no toothbrush. That's why they're so ornery all the time.
Okay, I think we just jumped a shark. Hey,
Sorry.
go crush your dreams.
See you guys. Did you say jumped a shark? Getting chased by a bee. Get out of here.